Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some things that are on my mind. I'm feeling triggered. Okay, a few things that are triggering me at the minute. I have very amazingly from our really good friends who actually live next door, been invited to a wedding. Now, weddings for me, and I have mentioned this in videos previously, weddings for me are something I love. I love weddings, I love, like, I am so excited to go to this wedding. You get dressed up, you get to celebrate your friends or your family, the ceremony and like the meal, the speeches, it's just, all of it is so beautiful and I'm genuinely excited for the wedding. I love weddings and I don't go to that many. However, because I don't go to that many, it is a situation where I also still associate weddings with alcohol. Toasting with the champagne and having drinks on arrival when you get to the reception. And I am nervous. For the first time, I am nervous about being tempted with alcohol. And I haven't felt like this in a very long time. So I thought I'd just kind of have a little chat about it and get some things out into the open to kind of see if it makes me feel a little better and also to kind of relate with you guys. Do you feel like this? Like, have you experienced any sort of triggers recently if you're not drinking alcohol? If that does sound like you, comment down below and also subscribe to my channel if you are watching this video. It really does mean the world to me and I love connecting with you guys as much as possible. So I'm feeling anxious about the alcohol situation at the wedding. Now, I know that my friends and Dan's going to be there and they're all so supportive and no one would ever pressure me into drinking. In fact, I think if I was tempted to drink, they would just be like, nope, not going to happen. So I definitely have the support from the people around me. There's just something about wanting to maybe feel part of the experience that I think maybe I'm feeling like I'm not going to be, or I'm going to be with a lot of people that I've never met before, a lot of people I don't know, and maybe that's kind of making me feel a little bit nervous. I definitely am somebody who struggles with social anxiety. Being in a massive group of people I don't know really makes me uncomfortable. I always feel like I'm going to stick out and I'm going to get asked lots of questions. Why are you not drinking? Why do you not drink? So what I'm actually going to do is prepare some answers for those questions so that when the time does come, and it will, I will be prepared to say my reasons for not drinking. I can't think of exactly what I'm going to say right now, but it's just going to be to the point. It's not going to be too in-depth. This, hi stranger, you don't need to know my life story. I'm just going to come up with like just one sentence, and if anybody asks me that question, it needs to be firm, that it doesn't lead to more questions. Or I need to practice how to direct the conversation away from something I'm not really comfortable talking about. I'm also going to plan what I'm going to drink. So this wedding, I believe, is an open bar. Also something that, my teenage self would be all over that bar. She would be all over it, but she would probably also ruin the wedding for her friend. So we're not going to go there. Now, I'm sure Dan will be taking advantage of this free bar as much as he can. However, I am going to focus on the incredible food that I'm going to get to eat because I've seen the menu, I've made my menu choices, and it looks amazing. I am going to plan exactly what I'm going to drink for each thing. I'm sure there's going to be a non-alcohol alternative, so I will find out from my friend if that's going to be available, and if it is, I will have that in mind. When the toasts come, that's my drink. Because it's really easy, and I've done this before actually, it's really easy to see everybody around you have the same thing. And I don't know, I'm a Libra. I find decision making so tough. I'm so indecisive, and it was always kind of an issue with me. I don't know what to have, so I'll just have what everyone else is having. I can't do that. If everybody else is having champagne, I need to know what I'm gonna have, and I need to pick something that is going to make me feel like I'm still celebrating with them. I hope this is making sense. People may not be relating to this whatsoever, But for me, like, these are the triggers, these are the things that come up when I'm feeling uncomfortable about alcohol. And it really honestly does not happen to me very often. So when it does, I really have to make a plan so that I can move forward with it. So having drinks that I know I'm going to drink at certain points of the day, and I am going to choose a variety, because I think if I stick to the same drink all day, I am going to get bored of it. Now, I'm quite happy with a sparkling water at some points of the day. Staying hydrated is always important, and as Dan has access to an open bar, I'm going to make sure he's staying hydrated. And I also like quite bubbly things, so maybe like a ginger ale or a ginger beer is often a good choice for me. Plain tonic water is okay for a while, but then it does kind of get a little bit boring. Any kind of like added fruits into sparkling drinks, they make things feel a lot more fancy for me. And yeah, I'm gonna make a plan of all the alcohol-free drinks that I have. Another thing that I think I really should probably focus on is just being confident with the fact that I don't drink. A lot of people do still find it weird that some people choose not to drink alcohol. I feel like if I'm really confident in my just decision with that, people will find it less strange. So it's not going to be a big deal. I'm just not going to be drinking alcohol. And I think if you're like confident in your choices, and people can tell from the off, if somebody came to me, for example, and said, "Oh, why aren't you drinking?" And I was very much like, because I think that kind of gives people an invitation to pressure you to drink, perhaps. And especially if you don't know somebody and you don't know their background or their history, and there's not many people in their lives that don't drink, I think it's not a fault of the person, it's just a natural instinct to kind of encourage somebody. They could think that they were doing a good thing when actually they could be doing the worst thing. So being confident in why I don't drink, and this again goes back to having that answer prepared as soon as somebody asks why I'm not drinking, and knowing what I'm going to drink. If somebody asks me if I want a drink, I can just say, this is what I want, because I've already planned and prepared that. I think the questions and the encouragement will be much, much less. And that in itself is going to take way, like, so much pressure off me. And that's going to make me happier, and it's going to make me feel more confident in my decision. Having fun is going to be one of the most important things to do as well. Instead of constantly feeling anxious or worrying about like how I'm feeling, I think I really just need to focus on the day. The day is not a day about alcohol. The day is a day about my friends. They are finally getting married, and all of their friends and family, some of which they haven't seen for so long because of COVID, that is something to celebrate. And I'm really, really grateful that I get to be a part of that. It's also going to be the first event that me and Dan attend together. Like, I realized this last night, me and Dan have never been to an event with more than like 4 or 6 people. And they've all been like dinners at tables, like social distancing. And we've never actually been to a party or a wedding or any big event together. So this will be the first time that we'll get to experience that together. And I think that's also really special and definitely something that I want to remember. Whilst also having fun, I also think it's going to be really, really important for me to be able to take a break if I need it. So if I do get to a point where I'm feeling really overwhelmed or really uncomfortable, I am somebody who needs to just break away and just take 5 to 10 minutes to myself. Now that could just be like going for a quick walk, getting myself into a different environment to kind of reset my thought process, kind of if I'm maybe wishing I was doing or having something that I'm not, then changing my environment is a great way for me to kind of reset my thoughts and then come back in with a different mindset. So the ability for me to be able to go, and whether that's by myself or with a friend or with Dan, like that has to be available to me. So I will explain this situation to my friend and to Dan as well. And yeah, if anyone sees me like sloping off, it's nothing to worry about. I will just be taking a few minutes for myself. Probably a good idea to tell someone that I'm actually going to be just going for a 5 to 10 minute walk, because it's always good to put your safety first as well. If you do need that time alone, like away, just always be safe. So yeah, I will definitely be kind of just making sure people know that if I need just a few moments to myself, this is why, this is like not going to be an issue, and then I'll just come back in and continue with the rest of the day or the evening. So that is kind of what's triggering me at the minute, alcohol related, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to kind of talk to you guys with how I'm planning to handle that, and kind of just make you guys like aware that yes, I do share a lot of like successes, and I do say that like I don't really find not drinking difficult anymore, but there's always going to be something that comes up. If you're in this for the long haul, which I completely am, it would be very naive of me to think that I will go the next 20, 30 years of my life without experiencing some sort of challenge or difficulty with this sobriety journey. This is my first sort of challenge that I felt in a while, but I'm definitely experienced from my previous experiences with giving up alcohol, and I know how to approach things slightly differently to how I used to. So if you find this video helpful, please let me know. I would love to know if you guys put any of these things into practice in any situation that's triggering you. And as always, stay safe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.